Brooke thought small payments were harmless.
The first time Bruk saw the bone tablet, he thought it was brilliant. It was small, flat, easy to carry, and, according to the market seller, very useful. Bruk could take something from the market today, make a small mark on the bone, and pay later. Not much later. Just a little later. 1 coin next week. 2 coins after the next full moon. Small payments. Bruk liked the sound of that. That day, he had only 3 coins in his pouch. But the market had roasted meat, a better rope for his cart, a soft mammoth hide blanket, and a stone cup with a shiny shell stuck to the side. Bruk did not need the shiny shell, but it did make the cup look important. The seller saw Bruk looking at it. He tapped the bone tablet. Bruk could take the cup now. Pay 1 coin later, only 1 coin. Bruk looked at the cup, then at the tablet, then at the seller. 1 coin later did not feel like spending, so Bruk took the cup. The next day, he used the tablet again, this time for the better rope. The rope was useful, mostly, then for meat, then for the mammoth hide blanket. The blanket was not useful in the afternoon, but Bruk imagined it would become useful at night. Probably. Each time, the seller scratched another small line into the bone. 1 small line for 1 small payment. Bruk was not worried. He earned coins every day. 1 coin next week was nothing. 2 coins after the full moon was also almost nothing. 3 coins spread across many days felt even smaller. The strange thing about future coins was that Bruk could not feel them leaving. When he paid with coins in his hand, the pouch became lighter. That hurt. When he paid with a mark on a bone, nothing happened. The pouch stayed the same weight. So the purchase felt free. For a while, Bruk felt clever. He had better food, better rope, a softer blanket, an important-looking cup, and still had coins in his pouch. That was the best part. He could buy things and still feel like he had not bought them. Then payment day arrived. Bruk came home from the quarry with 15 coins. Before he even sat down, the market seller arrived. He pointed at the bone tablet. 1 coin for the cup. Bruk paid it. That was fine. Then the rope seller arrived. 2 coins. Bruk paid those too. Still fine. Then the food seller came. Then the blanket seller. Then another seller Bruk did not remember very well. Apparently, he had bought a small carved stone because it looked like a sleeping mammoth. Bruk had no memory of needing it, but the mark was on the bone. So the coins left. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time everyone was gone, Bruk looked at his pouch. 15 coins had become 6. Bruk stared at them. 6 coins was not nothing, but it felt much smaller than 15. He decided the problem was simple. He had made too many payments at the same time. Next time, he would spread them out better. This was Bruk's first solution. It was not a very good solution. The next week, Bruk used the bone tablet again, but carefully. 1 coin for meat. 1 coin for a better cartwheel. 1 coin for a new carrying strap. Small things, useful things. Mostly. He was proud of himself. He had learned restraint. Then the seller showed him something new. A larger tablet. This one let Bruk make even smaller payments. Instead of paying 3 coins next week, he could pay 1 coin for 3 weeks. Bruk liked this even more. 1 coin at a time sounded lighter than 3 coins at once. The seller liked it too. The seller smiled a lot when explaining it. Bruk did not notice that part. Soon, Bruk had several tablets. 1 for the market, 1 for tools, 1 for food. 1 for things that were definitely not necessary but became necessary while Bruk was looking at them. Each tablet had small marks. A few here, a few there. Nothing frightening. That was the trick. No single mark looked dangerous. 1 mark could not hurt him. 2 marks were manageable. 3 marks were a little annoying. But the problem was not 1 mark. The problem was all the marks waiting together. Bruk only understood that on the day he received 15 coins and almost none of them felt like his. The market seller came first. then the tool seller, then the food seller, then the blanket seller, then the seller with the sleeping mammoth stone, then another seller who said Bruk had missed last week's payment and owed an extra coin for waiting too long. Bruk did not like that. He had already paid for the thing. Almost. The seller explained that when Bruk did not pay on time, the mark on the bone grew. Bruk looked at the tablet. The mark did look bigger. He was not sure whether it had grown by itself or whether the seller had made it bigger with a very confident hand. Either way, the extra coin was now part of the payment. Bruk paid it. At the end of the day, Bruk had 15 coins less than he expected, which was a strange way of saying he had almost no coins. That evening, Bruk sat outside his cave holding the bone tablets. The tablets did not look heavy, but they felt heavy. Grok walked past carrying a bundle of dry sticks. Bruk tried to hide the tablets. This did not work. There were too many of them. Grok looked at the tablets, then at Bruk, then at the very important cup with the shiny shell. Grok said nothing. That was worse. Bruk explained anyway. The payments were small. Each one was small. He could afford them. Grok picked up one tablet, then another, then another. He placed them on the ground in a row. Then he put one small stone beside the first tablet, 2 stones beside the second, 3 beside the third, more beside the others. Soon, there was a long line of stones in front of Bruk's cave. Bruk looked at the stones. That looked worse. Grok asked Bruk how many coins he earned on a good day. 15. Grok pointed to the stones. Bruk counted them. 17. Bruk did not like where this was going. Grok did not explain much. He did not need to. Bruk could see it. Each payment was small, but together, they were bigger than Bruk's day. And some of those stones belonged to days that had not even happened yet. That was the part Bruk had not understood. He thought he was using future coins. But future coins were not sitting in a cave waiting politely. Future coins had to be earned by future Bruk. Future Bruk had to wake up, carry rocks, push carts, fix wheels, get tired. And before future Bruk could decide what to do with his coins, past Bruk had already promised them away. Bruk imagined tomorrow's version of himself arriving from the quarry with 15 coins. Then several hands appeared from nowhere and took them. 1 for the cup, 2 for the rope, 1 for the meat. 1 extra because a mark had grown. Future Bruk did not look happy. Current Bruk understood why. The next morning, Bruk tried to solve the problem the Bruk way. He worked harder. He carried more rocks. He skipped lunch. He accepted a job moving logs near the river. By night, he had earned more coins than usual. Then payment day came again. The extra coins disappeared too. This annoyed him. Working harder helped. But it did not feel like progress. It felt like pouring water into a cracked pot. No matter how much Bruk poured in, the bottom kept leaking. Grok later showed him 2 pots. One had a small crack, the other had many tiny cracks. Bruk guessed the big crack was worse. Grok poured water into both. The pot with 1 crack leaked, but slowly. The pot with many tiny cracks emptied before Bruk finished smiling at his own guess. Bruk stared at the empty pot. Small cracks were still cracks. Small payments were still payments. That did not mean the bone tablet was always evil. Grok had once borrowed coins to repair a seed-crushing machine. Without the repair, the machine would have stopped working. With the repair, farmers kept using it. The machine helped pay the coins back. That was different. The borrowed coins had helped Grok create more coins. Bruk's shiny cup had created nothing, except the feeling that Bruk owned an important cup. The cup did not carry rocks. It did not rent itself to woodcutters. It did not crush seeds. It mostly sat near the fire looking important. Sometimes Bruk drank from it. The shell fell off after 4 days. Bruk began separating the tablets into 2 piles. One pile was for things that helped him earn or stay safe. Tools, cart repairs, food for winter. The other pile was for things that only felt good at the moment. soft blankets he did not need, extra meat because he was bored, important cups. The second pile was larger. Bruk did not enjoy that, but he could not unsee it. For the next few weeks, Bruk stopped adding new marks. This was harder than he expected. The market still had good things. The sellers still smiled. The payments still sounded small. Only one coin, only two coins, only until the next moon. But now Bruk heard the hidden sentence after each offer. One coin from future Bruk. Two coins from future Bruk. Until the next moon, future Bruk belongs to us. That made the tablet less exciting. Slowly, Bruk paid down the marks. At first, nothing changed. He worked. Coins came in, coins went out. The tablet still had scratches. The sellers still came. Bruk still got annoyed, but he stopped making the scratches worse. Then one day, a seller arrived and Bruk had no payment due. The seller looked disappointed. Bruk liked that. Another week passed. No one came for the cup. No one came for the blanket. No one came with a larger mark because Bruk had waited too long. For the first time in months, Bruk received his coins and they stayed in his pouch long enough for him to think. That felt strange, almost suspicious. Bruk did not suddenly become perfect. A few weeks later, he nearly used the tablet for a carved rock that looked like a tiny angry bird. He stood there for a long time. It was a very good angry bird. Then he imagined future Bruk carrying rocks to pay for it. Future Bruk looked exhausted. Current Bruk put the bird down. In the modern world, the bone tablet has many names: credit cards, loans, buy now, pay later, monthly payments, minimum payments, different names. Same basic idea. Take something now, promise future money later. Sometimes that can help. A loan can build a business. A tool can increase income. A home can provide stability. But small payments can also hide the real price. They make expensive things feel cheap. They make future work feel painless. They let people ask the wrong question, not, is this worth the full price? But, can I survive the next small payment? Bruk had asked that question for too long, and the answer had trapped him. Yes, he could survive one small payment, then another, then another. But surviving payments was not the same as being free. By the end of the season, Bruk kept one bone tablet. Only one. He used it rarely, and never for shiny cups. When a seller said the payment was small, Bruk no longer looked only at the mark. He looked at all the marks. He looked at the days ahead. He looked at the future version of himself who would have to carry the rocks. Then he asked a better question. Not, is the payment small? But, what part of my future am I trading for this? Most of the time, that question was enough. Bruk still liked comfort. He still liked good food. He still liked things that looked important for no clear reason. But now, when someone offered him a small payment, he pictured a tiny rope tied to tomorrow. One rope was easy to ignore. 10 ropes were not. And Bruk had learned that a cage does not need thick bars. Sometimes, it is built from many small promises. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more.